You can get tickets to the Jaguars at Colts game, according to ESPN, as low as $5, and it's not even the cheapest NFL game today to get tickets to. Like, what? It's cheaper than $5. It's only $3 to get a ticket to the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a meaningful game, though, isn't it?
I don't believe so.
I think the Texans.
That is hilarious.
For the draft.
This is a really good segue.
Draft. Yeah, never mind.
This is a really good segue into something I wanted to talk about. Why?
What you got?
The NFL needs to change how they do seeding. So hear me out. I read a couple of things on Twitter from some people who were throwing this out, but why do we have Week 18 if it doesn't matter for so many teams? There's like 2 or 3 or 4 big games, and then there's a bunch of games like Josh Allen is going to start and then go to the bench just to keep his start record. Like things like that are happening. And all I'm saying is they just need to make one change. Like if you win your division, you get into the playoffs, but you don't get a guaranteed top seed. They need to do the numbered seeding 1 through whatever. They need to do it based on record. So the Vikings and the Lions would be like 1 and 2 in the NFC and things like that, even though they're in the same division. It would make every game more important. It would be like, okay, it's like I need to compete against my entire conference in Week 18, not just my division. That's all I'm saying.
You lose. You go a little. It's kind of the quality versus quantity argument at that point, I guess, right? Because then you get a larger number of kind of those rivalries, if you will, but they're not quite as impactful. Whereas right now, it's like 3 hugely impactful rivalries that you've got.
I'm liking.
I guess that's a good point, but
this weekend, right? Like the Lions Minnesota game, I think that's pretty cool. And then everyone's watching the Dolphins, Bengals. Who's the third team in that? Broncos.
Well, the Bengals already have Broncos. Yeah, Broncos, Dolphins. Yeah.
Everyone's
but hear me out.
An eyeball on that.
Lions Vikings would still be a big deal in this new system because they're both 14-win teams.
Yeah.
So that would still be a huge. It'd be even bigger. It'd be for the entire half of the league. It'd be like who's the best in that half. All I'm saying is they added Week 18. Most of the players didn't want to do it, but they wanted the money. So they added Week 18 and they like fought so hard for it. And what is it for? It's for 4 cities. It's like, I don't know. Let's talk about some of the.
As an outsider in, it's nice. I'm going to watch Bears. I'm going to pray somehow we beat the Packers. That'll be fun.
Everyone gets a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it'll be good. I don't know. It is curious though. Would the NBA like NHL style be the answer? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Run us through that.
Where it's like conference, and then you divide it up basically in the like Western, Eastern conferences, and then they're divvied up into 3 divisions. And there's like I think top 8 of West and East like go to the playoffs or something like that instead of divisional titles or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Right. You keep the divisions. It's important, like because winning your division means you are in the playoffs no matter what. So you're not losing that part of it.
Yeah.
But as far as like now, the Eagles are so many
literal
Eagles,
foot in the door.
Right? The Commanders would have more to play for in this instance, right? Like teams like that in the middle would have something to play
in
for.
The bracket and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like if you're going to fight for Week 18 to exist, make it important. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I think that was the idea. I mean, we don't have to stay here, but like I think the idea of making Week 18 like 100% divisional matchups, the idea was these should have the most impact on playoffs at the time. Now, obviously, if one division's busted or whatever, it won't. But that was the idea, I think.
And is this the first year they've done it that way, or the second?
No, I think
second.
Yeah,
second?
at least.
Then again, maybe this is all part of like a 25, 50-year plan. It's like first they do the new schedule, 18, and then they're doing the divisional switch ups, and then in 5 to 10 years, maybe they'll drop like, we're doing just like the NBA, NHL transitioned.
Yeah, I could go on about division realignment. The fact that Miami is in the AFC East with New York, New England, and Buffalo is so weird. The only of those 4 teams that have to do any traveling is Miami.
Why is Miami not playing against like the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers?
Or the Jags and the Bucks in their state.
Unfortunately for us, the NFL is not going to do something that logical unless they lose a lot of people. If they lose people, they would probably be like, okay, we're going to shake up the divisions, but that's something you expect from like the ratings declining NBA or some of the other leagues. The NBA is like, man, how did the NFL take Christmas from us so quickly?
In one try. Well, I mean, they've had a Christmas game or two here and there, but like this was kind of the first like targeted, like we're going to try to make this our day. And it was just so easy for them.
So let's talk about Saturday games. The AFC North is done. We have every other division and team left to play today, but the AFC North is done. We had toyed with the idea, but we didn't do it. We had toyed with the idea of teasing that gigantic Ravens-Browns number up or down. And honestly, I think we would have won both ways. If we had teased it both ways, we would have won. It ended right at like 35-10. So
they made it scary, though.
Browns would have, at the time, I was re-listening to our podcast earlier this week. You said we would have gotten 26.5 if we had teased the Browns up. Would have barely won. If we had teased the Ravens down, or if we had just bet the Ravens straight up, would have won. So there could have been a lot of winners with that giant of a number, and we should probably try to put that in the back of our minds for the next time that happens. I doubt we're going to get a number that big in the playoffs, though.
20 points, man. Yeah, anyway.
Unless the Broncos or the Dolphins are projected to just get destroyed by the Bills.
If one of our teams makes it, they're going to Buffalo, and I think that's going to be a pretty bad projection.
I don't like that we still have to say if. I wish the Bengals had lost. Okay, Elliot, you won the bet against Sean. You won the head-to-head by half a point. You trusted the stats. Boy. You trusted the Mike Tomlin underdog steel train. You've been listening to the Wit and Grit podcast all year. Sean, right. I guess he's new here. I don't know. He just trusts his gut over everything. Months we've talked about this, but he didn't care because he saw shiny Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow screwed us so many ways yesterday, Sean. He screwed our parlay. He only got to 277. We needed 286.
We needed 8 yards or 9 yards or whatever.
It's like, man.
See, when we did our recording earlier in the week, and Ellie and I decided to go straight up, I wanted money line, but I believe you, Ian.
I bullied him. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Actually,
we bullied you out of it. It wasn't worth anything.
You were like, wait, why shouldn't I just tell? I was like, well, we're gonna go heads up, right?
I was so right. Man.
You're right.
It paid out minus 130 though. It paid out minus 130. It wasn't very good. That's less than
it's a good game. It was a good game. It was a fun game to watch, man.
I appreciate you taking one for the drama of the show.
Yeah,
a true showman.
Absolutely.
So if our Saturday record goes down as one loss on Sean and I for our parlay, our player parlay. The first time we've taken a player parlay loss, all our other player parlays have worked. Just want to bring that up. And thanks, Sean Joe. Gets the loss, and Elliot gets the win. So we are 1-2 going into Sunday. Let's try to find a lot more wins and end on a better note going into the playoffs. What do you say, boys?
What's the plan?
Welcome to Wit and Grit, where Ian, Sean, and Elliot break down sports betting, pop culture, or whatever's on their minds. The Wit and Grit Podcast.
This podcast is for listeners age 21 and older. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org for support. Sports betting laws vary, so ensure it's legal to your area before participating. The hosts are based in Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida, and we comply with the laws of these states. Enjoy responsibly. Okay, guys, week 18. We spent a painstakingly long time on our recorded podcast that you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen. And we went over all the player incentives that we were betting. So this time we're just going to go through the games that are remaining today. Any games we want to talk about. We talked about how I've already alluded to, Josh Allen is going to be coming in to take a couple snaps, keep his start record, his consecutive starts record, and then he's going to go to the bench. Does his absence have anybody interested in the Bills-Patriots game? Because I've heard some rumors that the Patriots coach, even though it's his first year, and he was appointed to be the Bill Belichick replacement by Robert Kraft, that, Mike Vrabel is out there. He's already discontinued his contract with the Browns. He is a free agent. He's allegedly already interviewed with the Jets in the division. Does Robert Kraft want to keep riding Gerard Mayo, or does he want to get rid of Mayo and take a swing at Vrabel, who goes back to even a little bit before Belichick? That goes back to the Parcells area. So, Vrabel's a proven coach. It'd be his second stint. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. He's got to be the hottest candidate. So Gerard Mayo might be coaching for his job if the Patriots lose to a Josh Allen-less Bills. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, he could be. They were starting to come online a little bit towards the end of the season. I mean, they're still a bad team, but I don't know. I would maybe give him one more year with May and see what they've got there.
What if I told you that Sharp Action, Big Money, and a PRO system are all on the Patriots? Would that change anything?
I'm not going to bet it regardless. So not for me, but it's an interesting nugget.
Yeah, I would favor the Patriots though. Like if I did put money on it, I just think nothing's going to change for them if they take Allen out and they put starters in. Like you said, you can't turn off an athlete. They're going to be all trying to play still on the Patriots side.
If we end up making a teaser, I think the Patriots are a good teaser candidate.
I can maybe get into that.
All right, well, let's move on. You already bet the Texans money line, didn't you, Elliot?
Texans money line, yes, sir.
Okay, so do we want to? I guess I'll just let you know how that shapes up for you. So looking at the big money is on the Texans, but Sharp Action is on Tennessee. So the wise guys, the people who think they're the wise guys, are betting the Titans, but the Texans are getting the most money. So obviously the public is on that. Does that scare you? No.
No. You can't
never
tinker,
really
right?
cared.
Yeah, they can't.
CJ Stroud's play. Like I know he's not anything like he was last season, but he's playing, right? Or am I missing something?
I think so.
Yeah, like
I haven't
CJ
found
Stroud.
anything otherwise.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out real quick while we're sitting here talking about it. Yeah, starters are expected to play. So I might trail this. Like I know the Texans aren't again what we thought they were, but they are a playoff team. Like this, and the Titans are
what
just
about that?
terrible.
Yeah, but the Titans have a lot more to play for because they've had a terrible year, and this is their Super Bowl. Like,
Dude,
the Texans
whether
are
they
going
have
to
a
the
lot to
playoffs.
play
They don't want
for,
to.
They're simply incapable.
Don't you remember the stat? Do I have to go back to the stat for you? The teams that have nothing to play for win by an overwhelming margin this week.
I think they're playing for the bowl, for the draft, a draft pick too, actually.
Because they have a rookie coach who's not going to get fired after this year, probably, you hope. I mean, very rarely do they get fired after their first year, but the Titans have been so bad, this could be it. So if they like their coach at all, and they just think they got some bad luck with having to use Will Levis and Mason Rudolph at quarterback, like I feel like it's a fair assumption to say the Titans probably blame the quarterbacks for this year, not the coaches, right?
Yeah, that's not just the quarterbacks, but yeah, it's certainly partially a talent issue.
So do the Texans have anything to play for at all? Where's their seating at? Or are they going to be resting people?
So they are currently the 4 seed. I don't think, that's where they're going to be because they won their division and they're there.
So the Titans have more to play for. I'm worried about backing the Texans just on the off chance the Titans, just Tony Pollard says, I want to hit these incentives and I want to just prove to this. I heard somebody talking about this somewhere else. They said that when you're in a bad locker room, you really want to go out on a good note. Like when the Giants have a terrible year after Daniel Jones was hurt, things like that. You win that last game, and if it's at home, is this at home? Is this in Tennessee?
Yeah, it's Tennessee.
It is.
You get that last home win. You get to have a nice, happy atmosphere. You beat the Texans, and you get to go into the offseason with like a way different mojo than if you just top a losing season off with another loss and just slunk away into the baseball season.
I've been singing this song for the past few weeks as teams have been wrapping up their home schedules. You know, if you recall, I've been saying some of that. Like you want to send the fans out with some feel good because it's honestly going to have an effect on ticket sales, like legitimately. I like the business of sports a little bit too, so I try to get into some of that. Like it does. So I don't know. I hear you, but like, it's not that I don't think they're going to try. It's just that I don't think they're good enough. Like the Titans are not good. They can't do it. Yeah, they cannot do it.
It's interesting. I think it's like the Patriots. They're bad though, so it's everyone's questioning. Like I know they might not start Josh Allen, but these guys both might be losers at the end of the day, regardless.
We've talked about this game that's $3 to go to in person for far too long.
All right, I'll say this: the last time they played in November, the Titans won 32-27, and nobody was resting anybody. So and that was in Houston.
2 games where one team's playing, the other one's not really. Who wants to go first, Sean or Ian? Are we going to Colorado? Or are we going to Miami?
Let's go to the Broncos.
All right, Broncos. So Kansas City at Broncos. Has the line moved at all since we talked on Thursday?
I still see 10.5.
Yeah. 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 8% chance of rain, 5-mile-per-hour winds, which isn't much, but 32 degrees. It's going to be a good old-fashioned cold one. I've said it before. The Broncos are going to win this game. The Broncos need to win this game. If the Broncos don't win this game, the Bengals, at least, are going to the playoffs, and they are not. It is now a must-win, and you're playing against Carson Wentz. The Broncos don't need to rest their defense. They have 58 sacks, tying a franchise record, so they're getting plenty of pressure this year. Carson Wentz, he lost his job because he couldn't handle pressure. He was going down. He was on his back more than insert inappropriate analogy here. I mean, he was just like Carson Wentz. Just the amount of times you saw him get up, you would have thought he was actually Prince Harry getting knocked down by his older brother. Hey-o!
What is this?
Come on. You love a good royal family reference. You love a good royal family reference. He looks the same.
Boy.
Is Carson Wentz's wife look anything like Meghan Markle?
Which one's Markle's the American lady?
Yeah, she's the one from Suits. Never saw Suits, but now that Suits is streaming, they put her face on there. I don't know how much of a character she's in it, but they want you to know she's in it.
Well, I have the internet in front of me. Let's take a look.
Oh, he's got the internet.
I think even the Chiefs with Wentz, and I know they're resting other starters as well, but I don't know. I'm just looking at some numbers here. It's got, as we've said, Denver favored by 10.5. The over-under on the game is 40.5. So just doing quick math, they think it's going to be 27-14 Denver, right? I feel like the Chiefs are going to score more than twice. I don't know, man.
The Broncos defense has been more leaky the last couple weeks than compared to the entire year. I'll give you that. The last couple weeks, it's been very close. They've been letting points happen. Riley Moss, his first game back being active, their second best corner, a.k.a. when you have Patrick Surtain on your team, the guy that's getting targeted all the time is your second best corner. So Riley Moss got back last week, and he even admitted, I didn't play well. I did a bad job. He took accountability, but hopefully he got the rust out, and he can actually be good this game. But if Riley Moss is a liability, you're right. The Chiefs should cover 10.5 pretty easy.
Yeah, and you also got to think, and the angle I've been looking at this game from for 2 weeks now, you've also got to think that, yes, Bo Nix has been incredibly impressive as of late, and Sean Payton.
Undefeated as a favorite, which he is here. Undefeated, hasn't lost if you're new to English.
He's a rookie, and it's the first time he's been in a huge, must-win, season over, high pressure spot.
Oregon. He went to Oregon.
In the NFL.
He's a year younger than Sam Darnold. He is 26.
And Andy Reid.
He's not a rookie. He's an old man. He's been married for 3 years. He's an old soul.
It has nothing to do with NFL experience.
Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield are out here getting drunk. Bo Nix is home by 9 for dinner.
You hear me, Ellie, right?
The public's getting an idea of what it's like to talk to Ian sometimes.
I'm wearing the jersey. I'm being honest. I'm telling you where I'm at. The Chiefs, if the Chiefs win this game, the Broncos had no business being in the playoffs, period. The Chiefs won barely the last time. You remember it was a last-second field goal F-up to keep it
the
clean.
7th seed, no matter who it is getting bounced next week. If it's the Bengals, the Broncos, or the Dolphins. The
Bills choke a lot. I'm hoping they can keep on going. You never know. It's a franchise of chokes.
Let me be wrong about that, but it's.
But let me be clear. I said it on our other podcast. I'll say it again. The way I'm betting this game is I'm betting the Broncos and the Packers as a teaser. I've teased them down. I don't have them winning by 10.5. I have them winning by 4 or 4.5, depending when you got the number.
Is there a chance though that Carson Wentz just plays lights out?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
Like,
but
would they do it? Would they do it, or would the Chiefs be like?
I want you to. All right, for a minute. Let's act like this isn't a Disney movie, and someone's not going to just bend it like Becca and just take off. Okay, look at the stats for the Broncos defense and tell me if you think Carson Wentz off the bench is going to do better than Patrick Mahomes did against said defense.
No,
like you're
tough.
Even if Bo Nix crumbles, Carson Wentz isn't going to excel against that defense. 3 Pro Bowlers on this defense, by the way, voted in, like Nick Bonito, Zach Allen. There's going to be edge rushes all on Carson Wentz. PS2 is probably going to get at least 1 interception. PJ Locke had a bad game last week. So like everyone's got something to prove. I don't know. I just don't Carson, and like they don't need to win it. There's nothing for it. When has Carson Wentz done anything extra? He's a lazy quarterback.
Oh man, I hope Carson's not listening to the Wit and Grit podcast live.
I hope he is. I hope he is.
Oh snap! All right, well,
invite him on. I don't know. Does anyone else have a bet on this game?
Maybe a player prop for Noah Gray. Actually, let me check that real quick. We can move on, and I'll chime back in with it.
Noah Gray. You want to bet on the backup tight end?
Kelsey's not playing, and Noah Gray's been pretty good all season. So,
well, before we get to the Dolphins, let's talk about the other game in my teaser, the Packers Bears game, Elliot.
Ooh, okay.
We went over the stats last time. Has anything changed in your mind?
No, it's I mean, it's like what you said. We'll be playing for our Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
20 degrees there, 8-mile-per-hour winds at Lambeau. I
think for any team, what you said about a team wanting to just put their hands in the huddle and say, "Hey guys, let's do this for us for this season," and just end off right, doesn't stand more true for anyone but the Chicago Bears, because they're a team with absolute promise next season. Right. But if they don't put like a stamp of like optimism on this game, it's going to be a long season, I think. But whereas we could be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see them. We've seen them rally before.
The only reason I don't see it the same way is because they already fired their coach, and they've just been terrible since they got rid of Eberflus. And I just feel like they're like, man, we're the first Bears team in 100 years to fire a coach mid-season.
Well,
they're down.
But I think that's because they really didn't back that guy after the Commanders hiccup. And then also a lot of the lack of ownership that Eberflus took on the time management stuff or clock management. I think after those games, I read some articles. A lot of the D linemen stood up and they're just like, we're done with this guy. He won't back us. So that's what I mean is I think you're right. It's a lot of daunting, ominous future with no head at the snake right now. But I think that's where this win is going to be like a big deal, not just for the fans, but for the players.
Yeah, I mean, because the Bears have got talent. They got all those picks for Bryce Young.
DJ Moore, they got Swift in the backfield. Caleb's doing great. Adunze's still doing great. Their line, it's still their line, which they have time. Maybe they have time to move some stuff around for the line.
I think that it's more important to the Packers to continue to constantly beat the Bears right now than it is the Bears have the ability to come back and beat the Packers. I really do feel that way.
Emotional pettiness on both sides will even the playing field a little bit. It'll be backyard ball, so hopefully it's fun. I don't know. I'm an hour away from it being like 24-0.
See, we can't make that same argument for the Chiefs because the Broncos beat the Chiefs last year, so it's more of a mixed bag lately. The Bears have 3 straight years of losing to the Packers. It's like, I don't know if LaFleur is going to let that go.
They gave away the loss in Soldier Field this year.
Yeah.
If you go back to that game, it was a 3-point game. It was a field goal. We missed a couple, and again, bad Eberflus calls.
So are you backing my teaser? Would you back me?
I always back you, Ian. As much as you drive me crazy, we're in your corner, man.
How about the Dolphins there, Dolphin?
Yeah.
Sean Dolphin, what do you got about the Doozers?
What?
You heard me.
From Fraggle Rock?
Heard of them. You don't know them?
Yeah, no, I like Miami to cover. The line moved. If I remember correctly, when we recorded Wednesday, they were favored by 1, and now they're not. It's the Jets favored by 1. So, but no, I still like the Dolphins here. And whether or not they make the playoffs is entirely up to the Chiefs in the Broncos game. But I think the Finns are going to take care of their business. It's going to be Huntley again, but I actually liked what I saw from Huntley last week running that offense. Certainly more serviceable than Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson or Jacoby Brissett have been in the past to fill that role. So Tyreek Hill's playing. The team's mostly healthy. So I really, and that everyone knows how I've been on the Jets this season. Like, not only do I typically not like them, I think they're pretty bad as well, and they have been. And I've been right about that most of the year. So I think it's a pretty easy one for me. Finns are going to cover the +1, and I'm picking them to win straight up. Yeah, I like the Dolphins here in a big way. I might do like a Huntley prop too. I think completions last week was like 17, and he blew by that. So.
The only reason I'm not fading the Dolphins in the cold is because Tyler Huntley seemed like he was not bothered by it like Tua was. So 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 12-mile-per-hour winds at MetLife Stadium today. 0% chance of rain.
Let's do it.
So I'm not backing the Dolphins with you, though, I'm afraid. So good luck.
Oh, I know I just said I'd back Ian all the time and be in his corner. I really do want the Dolphins to advance. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll be kind of in Carson Wentz's corner, just being in the area.
Enjoy it. Ask Philly fans how that feels, being in Carson Wentz's corner.
This could be Aaron Rodgers' last game ever as well.
Oh, man, I'll be double watching with an S-eating grin on my face.
Isn't he done? Is he still playing?
I believe he's playing today, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so is there any other games we want to talk about? Yeah. I've got
the huge. We should touch on Sunday Night Football before we finish up. Whether that's what we go.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one in a minute. I was checking on everything but that. That's gonna be the last one.
Seahawks. Anything on Baker?
Yes.
You were saying
yes. Bucks and Mike Evans. Yes, we got to do Bucks. Absolutely. Okay. Yep. So the spread 15 is what I'm seeing right now. Don't love that. That's huge. It's a division game. It is must win for the Bucks, or at least for Baker. And what I mean by that is if they make the playoffs, which I believe they must win this game to do, he logs like an additional $500K. And then I think an additional $500K for every time they advance in the playoffs. So Baker has reason to ball out today for sure against a weak opponent. Yeah, against a weak opponent. And then let's touch Mike Evans real quick. He can really.
Whoa! Not without his consent.
Go for it.
Mike Evans, point to the doll.
I thought you had something on Baker. You don't want me to
Mike Evans, point it. Elliot was like, point at the doll where the man touched you.
That's right.
All right. So on Mike Evans, he can really make payroll have a huge headache in Tampa Bay this week. He has right now 65 catches, 915 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He needs 5 catches and 85 yards. We're talking about Mike Evans, 5 for 85. He gets $3 million if he does that.
But 5 catches a lot. Well, not from Mike. No, not Mike in Tampa Bay.
No, it's not.
And we bet this earlier this week. We're bringing it up again, but we already put this one out.
And it also ensures those 85 yards also keep his 1,000-yard streak intact, which is very important to him. It would tie Jerry Rice for the most consecutive, which is amazing. So I love Baker here. I love Mike Evans here. I've got Baker over 1.5 touchdowns. I've got Mike Evans on his overs on both receptions and yards. So yeah, I love this game. I love the Bucs so much, man. I can't wait. I hope they make the playoffs. I want to watch them more.
What do you mean? Aren't they locked in?
No, I believe if they lose and the Falcons win, they are out.
This game
go Panthers.
This game is also a sleeping snake with the Saints here, just for an emotional win. I think we called this out actually for Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield earlier in the season when they
earlier this week, Elliot. What you're remembering is since 1990 eliminated teams playing teams that need to win over the final 2 weeks of the regular season have gone 60% against the spread, which covers the Saints against Tampa Bay, the Panthers against the Falcons, and the Jets against Miami. So there's a 60% edge against Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and Miami. So I don't think all 3 teams are going to win if you look at that stat holding up. But it's been the year where since week 13, nearly 80% of the favorites have won straight up. So,
well, what I was saying before, though, is remember, Saints have an emotional game this week after everything that happened. Thoughts and prayers. But
wait, what are you talking about? In Bourbon Street.
Yeah, Bourbon Street stuff. Which is
I didn't really think about that affecting them at all.
We called that out earlier in the year when the hurricane hit Tampa Bay and they won out.
Yeah, but Derek Carr is done for the year. Like, this is Spencer Rattler, who
Derek
hasn't
Carr?
like.
Okay.
No, Derek Carr.
I know.
We just have to have
Leave
our
David
episodic-
Carr alone.
Just saying, watch out for a rattlesnake bite from an emotional team, an emotional city this week.
Okay, well, if you're going to do the emotional hedge, then you like my 60% stat against the spread for eliminated teams upsetting teams that need to win. So, and it's against the spread. I never said they were going to beat the Bucks. The spread is 14.5. So if the Bucks win this game close, the Saints could hold up this stat. Like, that's important to note. 14.5, they're probably the most likely team to cover.
That's what I led with. As much as I'll sing the praises of the Bucks and Baker, I immediately led with I don't like this spread. But let me talk about the players.
Yeah, that might be our other teaser candidate. The Bucks, maybe? Or do we want to tease the Saints up or the Bucks down? Last week we couldn't decide, and it easily was Bucks up. So Baker loves to beat up teams. I'll say that. Baker does love to. He loves to bring it down.
They'll be up by 3 scores, still throwing it deep, dude.
You can't turn him off, man. You can't turn off the big dog once he's baking.
I think the Bucks and the Patriots might be my 2 teaser teams I'm looking at.
But yeah, that's what I got on them. Thank you for letting me do that over them. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Any other incentives in that game? I mean, a wild card one we didn't talk about. MVS needs 9 catches for $250,000.
That I don't know about incentives, but that tight end that's not Cade Otton on the Bucks, I think his over/under on receptions is like 2.5, and Baker loves a tight end. Let me give you his name real quick.
Baker loves a tight end. Wow, what an assessment you've just made about his life.
Payne Durham. Payne Durham, I believe receptions is 2.5. I think that's pretty solid too. I think I'm going to take. He was
a fantasy football long shot via Matthew Berry 2 weeks ago. That's when his name first came up. He scored a touchdown or 2 here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him on Red Zone before. Anything else on this game?
That's all I got.
No, let's go to the next one.
No,
next one's one we're waiting for, man. Don't make me wait no more.
I guess we have no reason to talk about 49ers Cardinals. We have no reason to talk about.
You're a monster, Ian. You're ignoring me over here on purpose.
I've got one game to bring up that we haven't covered all week, but there's something to talk about. Chargers Raiders. The Raiders. The Chargers might cover this, but a lot of the professional money is coming on the Raiders. So that's all I'm saying is, like, a lot of people think the Raiders might end strong here and the Chargers won't try that hard. Jim Harbaugh gave an interview and said, we are going to play the win to win the game. Like, I don't understand why we wouldn't. So I don't know. Chargers might be I think the Raiders are terrible, and I think the Chargers could be a good money line for us if we're doing a money line parlay. Does anyone disagree with that?
No, I don't think so. The Raiders are super bad. The Chargers are a well-coached team with some good players. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and they've got seeding to fight for. Well, actually, wait a minute. The Steelers lost, so the Chargers have less to play for. I think the Steelers just edged them out on their seeding. Maybe we stay away from that game now. Thanks, Bengals. Ruined it. All right. Detroit. Da-da-da-da. Let's talk about it.
Elliot doesn't want to, dude. Let's just move on.
No, he's pulling me out of my room now. It's where he beats me under the stairwell here so I can talk. No, I'm just kidding. I'm pumped, man. Sam Darnold's going to go. Jared Goff, 2 veteran quarterbacks. They're not new to the scene. We know what to expect from them. The receiving cores from both sides are going to be incredible. Amon-Ra, St. Brown's son, God, against Justin Jefferson, who's been, dude, he's been the ODB for me this year. If there's like an ODB award with just crazy catches and having a good time out there, I think it's going to be. I mean, it's got to be over under like 55, 60 points, right?
It is 56.5.
Yep.
It's going to be fireworks, dude. It's
Yeah,
going to be fireworks.
fun. And as an NFC North boy on the Bears side of this, I'm pumped to see. It should be fun. And the Packers aren't there. It's like Christmas.
Well, I've already bet the over on Justin Jefferson receiving, Hawkinson receiving, Amon-Ra receiving. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs props. Like, this is the game that you were definitely like, okay, I can treat this like a normal game. I'm not worried about anybody laying down. Because the Lions had nothing to play for last week, and they didn't let us down.
This is like potentially the NFC Super Bowl representatives' path to the Super Bowl beginning. Like it's if that makes sense, because whoever wins this is the 1 seed. They're gonna have home field advantage. Like this is huge.
Yeah, it's also on a bigger picture. It's like chapter 1. If the Lions want to be a dynasty, this is one of those highlight games that they talk like at the beginning of a 6 or 7 year run. Do you remember that first game against, when they won the NFC North title in week 18?
Yeah, man. And then on the flip side, like it's almost like, yes, they're a great team either way. They're probably going to win a playoff game either way. But like it's almost a hint of like same old Lions if they make the playoffs as a 14-3 wild card. Like what? That's the best wild card team of all time, which is like not a great thing.
But in their loser culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. And you're right. If they lose, it's like not a chapter of new. It's the same old. Oh,
it would not feel good.
The terror in Detroit. It's like, are we going to even make it to the Super Bowl? You're right. I forget about the bottom dregs of different divisional matchups.
Are we all on the Lions?
Oh. Yeah.
I'm like eager to watch Dan Campbell. Like it's weird for me to want to see a coach, but this is like his prime time to be in the spotlight, right?
He's got to do a good job too tonight.
Yeah, because he's going to be. It's like all those wins, and then what? You're just going to be the 5 seed if you lose.
Yep.
And so let's go.
Go ahead.
Let me do a quick playoff roundup for everybody. So clinched a playoff spot on the AFC. We're going to do AFC first. Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Steelers. All right. In the hunt, Broncos. If they win, 99% in. They're in. They win, they're in. If they lose, they're not going to get in. On the bubble, Bengals, Dolphins. Bengals currently at 11% probability. Dolphins currently at 10%. They go up to 21% if they win. Now let's go over on the NFC. The Lions clinched a spot. Right now they're the 1 seed, but we just talked about it. They could fall. Eagles, Rams, and then the Vikings, who again, with the win tonight, could jump all the way to the 1 seed. Commanders, Packers, and the in the hunt team that is left, you guys love them, the Bucks. If the Bucks win, they're in. If they lose, they have a 30% chance of getting in because the Falcons are the only team left on the bubble in the NFC. So if the Falcons get beat by the Panthers, the Bucks are just going to cruise in. So I don't know. Are those games at the same time?
Which ones?
The Bucks and the all the NFC South games, are they at the same time?
Yes. 1 p.m.
1 o'clock.
So unless one of the teams that needs to get in is up by like 3 touchdowns at halftime, I don't see too much scoreboard peaking going on. The Bucks just have to win.
Yeah, coaches don't like that. Yeah, coaches don't like that.
No, but I mean, come on. In this day and age, how do you keep these players away from technology?
Well, I mean, if you're just in the stadium, all you have to do is like look up. Like,
yeah,
the scores are just rolling. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk group parlay and let's get out of here and go watch some football. What do you guys think?
Go ahead. Any final feelings? We're all in Detroit. Was that right?
Yeah,
Detroit,
so that's where I'm starting with the parlay.
Ian, victory lap from Wednesday. They did bring that lineup 2.5.
Yes, but I think it's back to 3 now. But that's
really?
So when it went to 2.5, I don't know where it is now, but when it was at 2.5, if it's still at 2.5, I would take the Lions there. But this parlay, we're definitely going to do Lions money line. It's going to be close. If that Bengals Steelers game taught us anything yesterday, if you guys learned anything from when I had that Packers bet against the Vikings like a week ago, these division matchups where the teams are all good can be very close, and 2.5 could screw you. So I bet the 2.5 on the Lions, but for our group parlay, we should do MLs all the way on divisions. So Lions, who can we pair them with?
For a money line, you said, right?
Money line. Yes. Come on. If you want to put the Broncos in, that's fine, but we got to put a lot of teams in.
Well, I can't do the Broncos.
No, I'm scared. I'm rooting for Miami, though.
We're not going to put people in you're rooting for. Put people in we think are going to win.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to admit it all
That's
together.
some Sean September logic. He was like, I don't want that to happen. I'm like, they didn't ask you. They don't care what you want. They're just going to do it.
Leave me
alone. Leave me alone. The Bucks. I mean, you guys all like the Bucks. But
is that worth money line, dude? That's
no, not at all. Not at all. That's a teaser candidate. Okay. I kind of like the Giants, but we didn't talk about that one. How about the Packers? The Packers are minus 450. They're a barely good number, but it's still lower than minus 500. So how about the Packers to continue beating the Bears? Is that something we can all agree on?
That's fine.
Feels personal.
On. Yeah, it does feel personal. That was a quick turnaround here.
It's like, well, no one else has any
Texans?
other games they're bringing up. I don't believe in it.
What about the Rams? What about the Rams in or no, I mean not the Rams, the Seahawks.
I do believe in the
Geno?
Seahawks. Yeah.
Geno
and no Stafford. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Actually, what about betting for Miami with an even money line I'm seeing?
Yeah, I'm seeing plus 100 on Miami, actually. I hate the Jets. I like the Dolphins. So if we throw in the Lions,
That was one of the best
Packers,
things you've ever said to me.
if we do Lions, Packers, Seahawks, Dolphins on the money line, we get it at about 4-1. We could probably remove one. I wonder if removing the Packers would make this go up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's possible.
It did not. Sometimes if the number's bad, and like if you had added that minus 1,300 for the Bucks, it would like make your parlay go down with the extra leg.
Ooh, do we also? I don't mind the Commanders as if we want to replace anything.
Nope.
I'm
Mike
with you there. But
No, dude. I heard a lot of Mike McCarthy's a free agent.
Who cares?
Listen, you can't say who cares before I'm done. You don't even know what I'm saying. Mike McCarthy's a free agent that Jerry Jones actually kind of wants to keep because they've been winning these games. His entire staff are free agents. This entire coaching staff has something to prove right before they go find a new job and checks notes tomorrow. So the Commanders don't want to give anything away beating the Cowboys before they go to the playoffs, and they have to use all their good plays. Like, they're going to play.
they don't need to.
The Commanders need nothing out of this game. There's nothing for them to win, and I've watched them lose when they had stuff to play for. So I don't know how you think – they didn't even beat the Cowboys last time, did they?
I don't think I think so. I'll check.
Look it up. Might be wrong. I try not to watch those games.
Yeah, they lost 34-26.
Yeah. So I don't know why you guys think now when they have to save all their good plays for the playoffs and they can't give too much away, or the team they're playing in the playoffs will just, clean their clock. They can't, there's no way I'm backing the Commanders today.
All right.
What was the other team we had? Oh yeah, Packers. I took them out.
Either way, we got to make a decision quick.
Well, I think that's it. Lions, Seahawks, Dolphins, Packers. Right?
Lions,
throw the
Dolphins.
You could throw the Broncos in if you want.
No, Q4 is a lot for me even. I'm trying to keep
Yeah, 4 is a lot.
Yeah, the Broncos are at minus 600, so they don't count. Okay. I'm going to put...
Oh, 600's the line. 500, no. 600, though.
I use minus 500 as the line of because that's what they used to use for boost. You couldn't go below that for a boost. So that's the reason I was using that number. But some of these sports books have constricted me. I was talking to Sean yesterday. I was doing an NBA parlay. They said you couldn't have less than minus 200. I'm like, what the heck, man? Victor Wembanyama to get a double-double was minus 245 and didn't qualify for their boost. That's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. He had to get a double-double. Barely did it.
Lions, Dolphins, Seahawks. Who else?
Lions, Dolphins, Seahawks, Packers.
Thank you.
Full unit or a half unit? How much you putting on it?
I'm going to do a full.
Full unit. You know what? I believe in life after love. I'm going to go for it. Full unit.
I'm glad you believe in it. I'm going to make so much money on the Buccaneers game, dude. I'm so excited.
I can't wait for you to make a lot of money on the Buccaneers game. Let's go over my teasers real quick before we get out of here. I think I said I was going to do the Bucks down and the Patriots up.
People get these Mike Evans props in. I'm telling you. Baker's motivated. Mike Evans has $3 million to play for. The Bucks have to win. This is...
If he goes down first thing,
oh my God. Oh, dude, don't. Why did you say that?
If that happens, everyone go to X and tweet at Sean Dizer and say, we're very sad that this happened to you. Or just tell him, why did you go in on Mike Evans? He's one man, not a team. Okay.
Tweet Ian for jinxing it if that happens.
I just got an update from one of our listeners. He said, and I quote, blah, blah, blah. So he said we can wrap it up.
What a review. Are we able to like use that? Can you ask him if we can put that on the website?
Then he said, look at you looking at your phone. So he's calling me out for pretty much everything. I'm putting the bets in.
I'm trying to look at the lines, my man.
Yeah, that's
right,
where
he's
the
right though.
lines
We gotta go.
Okay,
One.
so Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Patriots Bucks teasers. Anyone in on it with me? Bucks to win by 8.5. Patriots to not lose by more than 10. They'd be plus 9.5. No Josh Allen. Mitch Trubisky is going to be playing. So
No.
I feel pretty confident in it.
I'm good.
Mouth breather, Mitch. No, I'm all set.
Yep.
I'm already on a ride with you with Green Bay.
I'm
That's
doing
where I
only
got
a
your
half
corner.
unit on it for anyone who cares. I'm not putting a full unit on it since no one else will back me. They're so rude. Go Broncos! Crush Sean's hopes.
Go Fins.
go,
Go
Blue
Chiefs.
Blacks.
As he says, they're so rude.
Down with the Dews and the Dolphins.
Fins up.
All right, everybody. Good luck today. Let's make some money.
Bear down.
See you guys. Have a good one.
He said bear down.